Alrighty, hello. Is the volume good? Did I forget how to stream yet? You changed all the commands to Fossbot? No, not yet. Not yet. Just the just like the 3 that I changed, but the rest I'll be moving slowly. Let's see who's here. 10 peaches. Good day. The End KC build. I don't know what N is now, but it's probably up there. I don't know how many builds we've done that are Keycult branded. Mason, hello. Smooth start to the week. I hope you've had one too. Aloha, Kwapa, hello. Uterus Druid or this is Theta Typer for sure. Emerald, hola, ¿cómo estás? One Drunk Man, hello. Poggers, Hinker, Gazo, good morning. Good evening, hello, hello. Oh, Jim, hello. Moose, CSGO says exclamation cam. I'm currently using a Sony A6400. You can also set Fosbot to reply to commands. Yeah, I was gonna do that later on, but I just haven't had. I just haven't put the time to set it all up. I will change all the commands over later, eventually. Actually, I mean, feel free to do whatever you want to do, Drew, with the commands if you would like to. Okay, anyway, Kind Ion, Nine Walker, hello, how's it going? Scruffy Marks, 2 years already. Yeah, wow. Crazy. Anyway, how's it all going? How's it going, everybody? You have a good week? Do you have a good weekend? Alright, so I'm back from the CanKeys meetup this past weekend. I'm not sure if you saw, but if you noticed, well, I was away in Providence, Rhode Island this weekend. There was a CanKeys meetup over there. Bunch of other content creators as well as a bunch of enthusiasts were there. All the CanKeys staff, or at least the good majority of it, was there too. Quite a lot of people who work for CanKeys is the number one thing that I noticed, and also they're all super nice, really pleasant people. Time flies when you talk. It sure does. Anyway, yeah. So I'm not sure if you've seen photos and stuff, but there have been, like, if you go to CanKeys Discord, actually they have like a media channel where a lot of people have posted photos and whatnot. There also was a panel for content creators as well as for keyboard designers. For content creators, there was Batsy Tech, Mexon Deck, so Mexon Deck, so that's Osiris and Chewy, Tiny 8-bit keyboards, and myself. And for the keyboard designers, there was AIO3, there was Smith and Rune, there was Heinebush, and there was Bisaromi, and Mr. Upas from CanKeys was also there. It was pretty cool. It was really... Oh, and Mr. Omnitype. Garrett from Omnitype was also there for the panels. Pretty cool stuff. And then yeah, there's like other prominent like community members show up at the meetup. I got to see Olivia, who came in with a new prototype that she had made for a keyboard called the Kirby, Kirvy. Very interesting. 60% HKB style only board. And then what else? And then, you know, there were like Click.io was there too. I also saw some vintage stuff. Got to see all kinds of boards. Actually it was pretty packed. Like I think there were like maybe 200 plus people there in and out. And then at the same time, like there were like a ton of other people, like, you know, like there was also like James AKB, the Alchemist Keyboards, right, who did the OCR, the OGR, my bad, OGR, yeah, OCR is different. And then also saw, I mean, AIO3 was there. He had the Vector and the Lunar 2 prototypes, so it was really nice. Yeah, just a ton of people there. It was really fun. It was really a lot of fun. Liam sends his regards. Oh, I sent Liam my regards as well. Also, hi Liam. you're there. Anyway, so tonight we are going to build a Keycult 165, and we are also going to check out a new key set that I just got from Space Cables. Well, or rather the manufacturer. And that's the... Looks like you're eating good too? Yes! Oh yes! I went to Providence and tried their lobster roll over there. It was really good. I went to Dune Brothers in Providence, had a lobster roll. Also got to eat jjajangmyeon. Also got to have like barbecue. So we had like burgers and hot dogs and, you know, all kinds of things. Yeah, no, we were eating pretty well. Some good breakfast too. Also went to a place where they had like a $10 entrance fee. It was like a barcade kind of place, and they had drinks and they had all kinds of cool arcade. And yeah, it was really cool. Basically it was like you go in and you can just play as long as you want, stay as long as you want. They were basically open till like 2 or 3 a.m. I think. We went there. Actually, JB from One Up Keyboards, was there, and he was throwing down on the DDR machines. Oh my god, he's so good. I tried a few rhythm games too. I tried, like, you know, did like air hockey and like Time Crisis and skee ball and, you know, all kinds of cool arcade. I love the arcade. I'm a huge fan of the arcade. I wish we had more of that here in the city, but we don't really. I mean, there's like Round 1 and Dave and Buster's, I think, but they're not too good. They don't have everything that I like. But yeah, it was really cool. Do you play SDVX? No. I miss arcades? Yeah, me too. Alright, so yeah. Also, I also saw on the weekend that Mr. Taya Types actually got married. So if I know that Nathan isn't probably watching the stream today, but if you see him around, make sure to congratulate him. He and his very long time now wife, Jen, they had been sweethearts for the longest time, and they finally got married. So that's really amazing. I saw some of the pictures and all the videos and stuff. It looks super cute. So pretty cool. Anyway, so we have this key set called MW Retro Lights. This is Milky Way Studio Retro Lights, and this key set right now is being sold through Space Cable, spaceholdings.net, and basically it's like an all-in-one kind of set with accents, and it's like a beige kit. So as you can see, I mean, the box is a little dented because of the shipping process. Like, it just got a little bit damaged in transit, but that's not how you would probably get it. This is just because I had one set sent directly from the manufacturer, and so it just went through the FedEx pipeline, which, as you might know, FedEx tends to be pretty rough with their packages. There's a lot of memes around that. And so yeah, well, it looks like you have this like Mac style UI, which is kind of cute. Like art for the box. And then you take out the sleeve, and you have a singular box over here. It says here MW Retro Light. Kits is gray base, material PBT, printing dye sublimation, manufacturer Milky Way, designer Mars, and then QCXCC made in China. And so just gonna check it out. Hey, look, it's our favorite keyword content creator building a Keycult. Brandon, what's up, dude? How you doing? In-stock PVT competition heats up again, indeed. There is always more PVT dice up keycaps, and it starts with beige as always. Looks like we have this plastic tray cover, and it has a little piece of foam, and it has little grooves to kind of properly kind of like set into the other part of the tray, which is nice. It's a little bit indented so the keycaps don't quite slide back and forth. Actually, it looks like They can slide a little bit, but not too excessively. Oh, actually, it's because I didn't properly clip it on. But let me see if I clip it on completely. Yeah, they can slide a little bit, but they cannot like they cannot go on top of each other, which is nice. So they will slide in the rail, but they will not like go on top of another. So that's cool. So nice tray. Reminds me of EPUTs, yeah, pretty similar to that, but what's kind of neat is that it comes with, it actually is wider, longer tray than EPUTs. So as you can see, this first tray covers all the way to the Keycult part. So it covers all the way through this bottom row and then through the nut cluster area. So it's like the whole TKL part fits in this first tray, which is kind of nice because if you just want to arrange only TKL compatibility on the first tray, you can just do that. The dye sublimation looks pretty good actually. I'll say if I have to rate it out of like 10, let's say, I would give this like a solid. Let's inspect a little further actually. But it's good. It's good. The alignment seems pretty okay. Left-right alignment, it seems slightly off on some keys. Like I think this control has a legend that's very, very close to the edge, but the alt isn't quite like that. But the rest looks okay. The keys do look to be in the right vertical alignment. And the one thing, like for example, this hyphen here or dash is a little bit short here. But the thickness of the legends looks pretty good, pretty consistent throughout the entire alpha section. Yeah, no, that is something that I would say looks pretty good. Punctuation looks okay. It has the more modern style print scroll pause instead of print screen or scroll lock. Page up and page down do not have a space in between page and up or page and down, for example. That's something I think is more of a typical. I think it's like more of a like a mistake, but at least. But I don't think it really matters because it's an abbreviated form anyway. Arrows look okay. The alignment looks alright. It does appear that the left and right arrows, however, they aren't quite centered on the vertical side, so they do look a little bit different. So that's something to note. But that's not a huge deal, I think, if you're just buying this set for yourself. If you're comparing it next to other keycap sets from other makers, then maybe you'll like see those differences. Otherwise, it's whatever. Alright, second tray here. We have 7U layout. We have the numpad here on the left side, which is actually, this is nice. The numpad has its own section of the tray. Pretty cool. It does have split space bars compatibility, 7U compatibility. We have HKB compatibility. We even have 40s compatibility. We have a 1.75U backspace, a short tab, as well as a short enter. We also have a okay, so I have to say the homing keys here, we get non-barred FJ and then barred FJ, but the bars are pretty small, very hardly a bar. I mean, it's there. You can notice it's there, but it's not quite like the most prominent
Getting
bar.
close to that 1 year milestone.
Oh, getting close to that 1 year milestone indeed. Sendvac, hello. Wait, what? There's a bar? Yeah, I know, right? It doesn't seem like it, right? But there indeed is a bar. Let me actually compare the two. The comparison is so faint that it's almost hardly noticeable, really. There is a bar right there. There is a bar. It's just kind of not, the bump is just not as prominent, I would say. And there is one though. I guess that's one thing I would say. If they had to change something about the homing keys, maybe make a more prominent bar so it's actually a homing key. Other than that, you know, okay. Step capsule, R3 control, ISO layout stuff is still there. It looks like the blanks kind of look similar to the ones that were on the older nice PBT, but the thickness is still 1.5 millimeter. 1.5 millimeter thickness, so regular cherry standard thickness, so not like thicker than that. You do get short shift and all that stuff. You know, the compatibility wise, it's pretty good. Even has F13 and 1800 layout stuff, which is, I would say that's a plus. And that pretty much covers it for layout. You get Alice support, you get 40 support, you get 1800, full size, all that good stuff. Anything below, all the way down to 60 as well. And ISO compatibility as well. So, putting that aside, any mod pipe? Oh, I don't know actually. Oh, how interesting. That's interesting. No? There's no mod pipe. I see no mod pipe here. I see a mod tilde, but no mod pipe. What an interesting way to do inclusion and exclusion at the same time. So yeah, no mod pipe, but I see the mod tilde. Return this set. Milky Way does not believe in mod pipe. Yeah, I guess not. Okay. I get some kind of panel of stickers, little reminds me of like kindergarten or something with the little dotted stickers. And then we have a variety of colored accents, but these colored accents are not modifier key accents. We just get some extra blinks. We get some R1s, R2s, R3s, and R4s. I guess these are like accents for your, what, 65, 75 or something. I have to say the accents are pretty lackluster for me. These novelties, yeah, candy dots. Arts and crafts novelties, yes. That kind of sounds about right. Okay, one thing I have to say I do not enjoy as much is not seeing paired novelties. If they are going to be novelties, I would rather see them paired. You know what I mean? So if I get a red one on the left side, I would love to have red one on the right side, or a green one on the left, green one on the right, you know? Like paired novelties. But we don't get that here. So, meh. Okay, alright. I guess. You want to use mod pipe or mod tilde? Use white on black. Yo, Captain Mike, hello. Lenza Lucas, hello, hello. How's it going? Paired pairs, yes. Pairs. It's okay. I would honestly, I don't think I would use much of this. I think I would use the blanks. The blanks are kind of nice, actually. If you're an artisan maker and you grab one of these blanks to make some, you know, molds out of it, okay, could be done. It does look like we have a recessed stem as well, so that's kind of nice. So you do get cherry profile, at least. But the stem also is not fully circular. It has those like, plus shaped grooves, like that. Focus, hello. So, well, there's that. It's okay. I'll give this novelty kit a solid 6 out of 10 for personal taste. But I don't really see myself using much of this. Stem don't really only cloning the top, that is true. Although some people do also take into consideration whether like it's a PVT cap with the recess tab or not, right? But yeah. Anyway, but you can just use a synth if you wanted to do that. Let's see. Straightness of modifiers looks pretty good, to be honest. Like, just looking at the tray here. Like, I'm gonna put it here. The straightness of this looks really, really good. So they do look to be pretty straight. The top side of like this shift key, for example, it does appear to have a little bit of curvature, but it's not that far off from most PVT keycap sets that I've seen, to be honest. So that seems okay. No, honestly, the legends do seem pretty crisp for what it's worth. And the texture is actually has a nice softness to it. It's not very gritty. This Milky Way set's texture is pretty nice, actually. I do like the texture feeling. It's neither too rough nor too smooth. It's just about right for a brand new set, I think. And the color looks pretty good. It does appear to be pretty much close to OG beige. So. Oh, goodbye, Brandon. Time for workout. Have a fun workout. All right. So that's this set. Well, thanks to Space for sending having this set sent out to me. I think it looks very good. At the price that it's currently at, let me see. How much is MW Retrolights? MW Retrolights is currently being sold for $79.99. I see. Oh, I see. The gray basis modifiers, the long modifiers are not colored, but the general kit does have colored modifiers. And then there's an icon one where you have icon mods instead, and then there's an international kit as well if you want it. Is it as good as CRP? No. So it's like CRP, I think, is smoother than this, but it is pretty close to the smoothness of CRP, actually. It's smoother than, I think, but EPVT comes pretty smooth these days too. Actually, yeah, they're close, but no, CRP is definitely smoother than this as far as top texture is concerned. So I would not say like one is better than the other, but at least it's consistent. So, but I mean, I do have a few caveats here. Like, I do think like it would be nice to see better homing keys here. The compatibility seems okay. I mean, the exclusion of mod pipe when you already have mod tilde seems a little bizarre, but okay. That could be easily resolved just by adding a key. Honestly, though, the legend quality control looks pretty good. I mean, honestly, the legends do look pretty good. I do think that they are pretty crisp and consistent thickness and whatnot, like kerning wise. So I think I would be pleased with the quality of the legends at the price. So that's good. And the straightness of the modifiers also looks pretty solid as well. Runs off to buy more CRP instantly. I mean, CRP is definitely very nice. CRP also does have some limitations though. But that said, CRP does offer a pretty good deal as well. Alright. For now, I'll conclude this here for this part of the MW Retrolights overview. CRP spacebars are lacking. I have to say, CRP modifiers have had their slew of issues over time, yes. Like, I do know that, I think earlier rounds may have had some issues, and then future rounds, I think some people had some complaints about, like, backspace and spacebar. But, I would say it was like a your mileage may vary kind of situation. Some people had it worse, some people had it better. Spacebars are straight AF, but they're very dull. Maybe it's the thickness. I don't know. Are they thicker? Maybe. I don't know. I like my CRP spacebar sound, but it is definitely different from GMK, and it's also different from like OG Cherry, for example. OG Cherry sounds a bit more plasticky and a bit more hollow sounding, but in a... No, it's not a bad thing. It's just a little different. Kind of lighter sounding, maybe? Yeah. I like CRP spacebars, though. Maybe a PBT versus AVS thing? I don't know. Alright, so let's go ahead and unpack this guy. So we have our black aluminum plate here today. Chamois spacebars are a manga for me so far. Yeah, I also have had not great experiences with chamois spacebars. I was pretty disappointed in chamois spacebars and modifiers in general. They were pretty, like, poorly sounding. And I don't know what it was. It was not that they were not straight, it was just they're poorly sounding. They just sounded so weird compared to CRP or other things. So I just replaced those with CRP, like, especially the spacebar. I think the other modifiers, because they're shorter, it was a-okay. But yeah, I didn't like the chamois modifiers that much. It's just too thick, it doesn't sound. Yeah, and it also had that weird upstroke sound. It had a very strange upstroke sound to them. I don't really like that. Anyway, we have some stabs here, alignment pins and whatever. Alright, so today's 165 is a black on black unit, like the one I had built last time when Alex Odos and I built a Keycult on a was that squad stream. So this is a black coated mid piece with a completely black case, aluminum case, pretty nice. Is this your first time trying Oil Kings? No, I have built, I think I put Oil Kings on some off-stream build that I did before, and then I've also done Oil Kings on a Zenith. I think I've done Oil Kings on... Yeah, this is maybe like third or fourth time doing Oil Kings. Maybe fourth, maybe third. Yeah, too stealthy? I mean, pretty much no different from just getting a all black anodized keyboard though. I mean, it just is that the weight basically is all black as well, but I don't mind. I mean, too stealthy can be good. Some people really like that too anyway. Use Shanshui today, please. I don't have points. I'm kind of torn between using that or using Grecian. Grecian? However you say that. Either or. RMK taught me that thicker is better. Too high-pitched thick. Yeah, chamois definitely sounded kind of weird. Grease and, okay. Okay, whatever it is. Grease and, I don't know. Grease on. I don't know. Alright, let me open up the here. Let's see. Alright, there it is. I believe today we are doing split backspace and 7U.
What's up, handsome?
Oh, what's up? Mr. Nick Dillard. Hello. 3 months. How are you? Thank you so much for the support, my friend. How's it going? How have you been? I looked up hotels in Morgantown for November. Holy room cost, Batman. Yeah. So, that is actually pretty much the main thing preventing me from going. It's actually crazy. Like, I think there is some kind of football event going on that month. I mean, that weekend or something. Just bad timing for it. I guess there's just like a lot going on that weekend, and I don't understand why it's so expensive. Worse than New York City hotels. Yeah. I looked it up and I was like, wow, insane. So yeah, if I don't get to share a space or something, like, you know, something that's just manageable, like, I don't think I'm gonna go. It's just way too expensive to go. I wish I could go and support or just attend and whatnot, but yeah, those hotel rates are actually insane. And it's not like Airbnb is any better either. And so yeah, another way to do it would be to like drive and be outside of Morgantown for the accommodations, but it really does kind of put a dampener on a lot of like the social stuff. So kind of a bummer. Anyways, if y'all have any questions about the CanKeys meetup that I attended recently, let me, feel free to ping me in chat. Like, just add Lightning Keyboards and say something in chat. But if you don't have any questions, that's fine. You don't have to have questions. It's cool seeing you at the meetup. Thanks again for coming out. Yeah, Blue Crayon. Yeah, it was nice seeing a lot of people at the meetup. There's a lot of people that I hadn't met in person before. Like Bisaromi and Tiny Bush, for example. I've known them for like 4 years plus now, and I met them for the first time. Which is kind of crazy. Shanghai Twist. Oh shit, Keycult 누구 거야? It's somebody I know. 아는 분께서 이제 보내셔서 이제 오늘 빌드하는 것 같아요. Anyways, these keeps, how are you? Let's see. Oh, ended up getting a hotel 9 minutes away instead. So you're confirmed not going? I don't know. I'm still up trying to see if I can make it to Keys, but to be honest, I don't know, Mason. I really have to see what I can do. I thought tickets haven't been sold yet. I thought the NK meetup tickets are already on the site. The keyboardmeetup.com for the meetup tickets in November. All the flights I checked out have a stop, and that's whack. No, so Nick, so if you're going to Morgantown, what most people will probably be doing is flying into Pittsburgh. It's gonna be you probably want to go to Pittsburgh, and then from there carpool it down to West Virginia with other people, or by yourself is fine too. But basically that's the play. A lot of people will be flying into Pittsburgh, the bigger airport. And then, either people who are renting a car or like Uber or something down to Morgantown. That's basically what people are doing. West Virginia hotels are all full. Yeah, I saw that. And so, is it weird being on a panel and talking to the audience? Does that line up with how you view the hobby? Like, it was my first time doing that for the hobby, like being on a panel. Okay, I have to say the CanKeys meetup was the first time I felt like the meetup itself felt like a professional event. Like, like work conferences where you go to a hotel and those hotel ballrooms are like repurposed for conference events, and there's like a big PowerPoint presentation and a lot of people seated around and like, ha 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 ha, hello, welcome, and you're like, being all networky and shit. So that's kind of how it felt at some point. Like I definitely felt like it was, wow, like shit, the community has grown. But I have to say that I enjoyed being on the panel because the people I was with on the panel, they're all great people. They're like super pleasant to talk with, and like none of them are like awkward about anything. They're just all very candid, all super genuine. Like all their answers, I pretty much like I agree with a lot of their views, and I think a lot of them just kind of experience similar things to like what, yeah, we all kind of experience similar things in general. And so, yeah, it is kind of like an accurate representation of the hobby. Like a lot of the inquiries that we get, or a lot of like the experience we do have, tend to reflect what the hobby is like right now. You're great on the panel. Oh, Pima and Taco CS, thank you so much. It definitely is a little odd. It was a little odd feeling though to be like on a panel, but I think it's important. Like I think it's like it's nice to have these panels because there really is a lot that people who have been around in the hobby for a while, or people who work on a professional level with things in the hobby, like whether it's being on the supply chain side of things or the manufacturing, or like creating content, or just like kind of representing a part of the hobby, like a group of the hobby, or like a sector of the hobby as a whole. They do have something to show and something to tell, like a story to tell. And I don't think I mind, because at the end of the day, if you don't want to be in the panel, or if you don't want to be listening to a panel, just don't go later. Like if you're going to a meetup and it's between, you know, this meetup was from 11 to 6 p.m 11 a.m to 6 p.m, and the first 2 hours were panels, or the two separate panels, right? Where basically 50 minutes, 5 to 10 minute break, and then 50 minutes break, and then meetup time. So I mean, if you don't like the panels, just go there at 1 p.m and participate during the rest of the afternoon, right? I'm going to bed. Okay, one drunk man. I give Peaches the key set pick. All right, roger that. Sounds good. All I know from work is breaking my body. I see. Diego, you should be on the board of boards. Keyboard CEO. Oh my gosh. I want fun meetups, not work. No, I mean, they're not work. I mean, this was actually a really fun meetup. What I actually really liked about this CanKeys meetup was that it was not huge. Okay, like the NorCal meetup, okay, was humongous. Okay, the NorCal meetup was like 4 times bigger. The venue was like 3 times bigger. Okay, it was so hard to see all of the boards and all of the things and talk to all of the people, and it really felt like my attention was very split. And like at one point I was just feeling kind of dizzy and tired and whatnot. I mean, not that I wasn't tired towards the end of the CanKeys meetup as well, but that's just in general because I have a social quota for things. But I did enjoy this meetup because it was pretty social. I mean, like, I think people were just generally super nice. In general, like, people are at meetups, and I think it's nicer when it's just more of that, like, person to person, like, kind of interaction where, like, yes, like, I might be on this panel thing, but it's not like I'm much different from any other enthusiasts out there. Like, I'm not that much different or anything like that. It's like, I don't like, I do this kind of streaming stuff for fun, and, you know, build service or whatever, and there's people who, like, you know, do make, like, very serious content and stuff. Like, I think, like, Bad Seed, for example, like, amazing guy. To be honest, like, it's so, like, I don't know. When I see somebody like that, I'm a little bit starstruck in a way, because I just know how much skill goes into doing the stuff that they do, like, the time they put in, you know, so much work and dedication to all that stuff, and I'm just like, wow. Like, I'm seeing this person here at this social event, but I know that behind the scenes they're doing, like, dozens of hours of work putting into, like, each video, each thing that they do. It's kind of crazy. So I do feel like a bit starstruck, as opposed to, you know, I feel like I just kind of have more fun, you know, streaming and just sharing stuff with you guys, and definitely feel I definitely felt a little bit Like, wow. Like, I think I'm just among people who are doing much greater things than I am. But at the same time, it's an honor to be, you know, next to them. I like them, but I personally prefer your style, Halfling Barista. Oh, that's really nice of you. I mean, yeah, for me, it's just it really is for fun, right? Like I don't see myself that much different from other people. Yeah, I'm just a consumer like everybody else. Is it just me or flight $600 plus to Pittsburgh? I do think that yeah, right now it's probably, I think those flights right now to Pittsburgh, they're all being inflated by these sports events and other things happening at the same time. So I've seen I've been tracking the flights over to Pittsburgh and to other places, and they're fluctuating so much within like weeks at a time. Like I think the other week the round trip was only like 200 and some, and then suddenly it spiked up to like 550, 500 or so. Yeah. Yeah, I forget to what the designer part of the panel. I didn't pay too much close attention to the designer panel. There were a few interesting little bits, but I couldn't hear everything because I was like all the way in the back too. You could still walk around, talk to everyone. Yeah, Mason. I pretty much walked around. The first thing I did after the panels were done and we had come back from lunch, I actually I walked around and looked at all of the tables first. All of the tables, CanKeys table, Smith & Rune's table. I looked at all the tables, all the vendors, all the people's tables, all the artisans there. I just went and looked around just so I could get a first look at everything, before, like, you know, it got either too crowded or before I kind of felt too tired to do it. So I just walked around and checked everything out at first, set my boards up. And then I kind of spent a lot of the rest of the time just like socializing, just like talking to people. Yeah. Were you able to check out the Lunar 2? Oh yeah, the Lunar 2 I saw at NorCal, and it was really nice. And I also got to see it at the CanKeys meetup, and it was it's so cool. Like it has this double action solenoid, or two solenoids basically, and it sounds really fun. I mean, it's pretty much like peak Alps kind of experience in the sense that you know, before we didn't have like cases that were like nice and curved like the Lunar, and I think the solenoid thing is just like a fun little feature. I mean, it's optional, but it's fun. Icona says, I just got muted for 41 days? Oh my god. Wait, 41 days, like a month and a half, on Switch and Click the server for being accused of scamming. RØDE products not received on the package and got me muted without me even saying anything. Oh, that's... Wait, so you didn't have any, like a side to your story kind of thing? That's kind of sad. That's unfortunate. Lazy Accountant, hello. How's the keyword life? Long time no see. Yeah, it's been a while. How are you doing? I'm doing alright. I'm actually just kind of, you know, I stream a couple times a week, I would say, just doing builds, but the rest of the time I'm just spending like doing my own work. Anyway, hope I can meet you at the Nashville meetup. I will see you at the Nashville meetup most likely. Was anyone able to get a Kohaku from today's raffle? I heard it was like only like 15 units, so it was very small, so it's probably hard to get an invoice for that. It's cool to hear the respect among the creator. Yeah, chill hangout style more for me. Yeah. All right. Sorry, I'm going down on the chat here. I'm kind of slow. I knew you'd be on. Yes, I am. The Lunar was really cool though. Yeah. I've only been to one pretty small size meetup, and I've yet to still try Topre. Oh really? I should have brought an HKV. Oh wait, you're not at the CanKeys meetup, were you, Steve Keeps? But I mean, wait, I'm actually kind of surprised that you haven't tried Topre. I feel like Topre is still relatively accessible because it's like mass-produced pretty much. So I feel like it's more so that people aren't bringing it rather than that they don't have it. Unfortunately, tickets rolled out before I could get them. Ah, okay. Anyway, I thought the magnets from Smith & Rune was so cool. Their explanation for the back design was interesting. Yeah, I thought it was interesting too. In person, looking at it, it was interesting. For those who are concerned, does it tip over? Yeah, it definitely does. If you press hard on the corners. But, I mean, in regular type, it's not gonna happen. It looked cool. For me, Exploded 75. Exploded Arrow 75 is not my particular jam. So I personally don't have a interest in the Magnus, the iron, the 75% iron. I mean the 75% Smith and Rune board. My bad. I don't have a very strong interest in it because of the layout. But concept itself is pretty cool. I can see like people doing cool finishes out of it too, and the floating profile is pretty cool. I mean, it's kind of similar to the way, like, you know, the Keycult 165 over here that we have right here. The middle part, you know, is solid, but the sides have empty space, so you kind of see a bit of that floating side profile, which is kind of like what the Magnus from Smith and Rune is basically doing. Like, you just have no material on the sides, so it can have that floating side look. What do you bring to this meetup? I brought my Kohaku and with MX Browns, and I brought my Juby. So no, I brought two separate boards from NorCal meetup. I brought my Hyphen and my Ion Rogue, and then this time around I brought my Juby and my Kohaku. So different layouts as well. Let's see. Were there any boards that got your attention at the meetup? I really like some of the vintage stuff. I like the vintage stuff. I saw like a Vox, Magna Rider, or whatever. The one that had, normally it has MX Browns, but I think that one had not MX Browns, SKCM Browns, but that one had SKCM Blues, I think. And then I saw someone set up an actual full terminal for a vintage board, for a vintage setup, which was pretty cool. Like, there was a typewriter there as well, or like a wheelwriter basically. And then I also saw, let's see, there is someone with a beam spring. I mean, I think the Brutal looked pretty cool. The Brutal V2 rather looked pretty cool. I might be building one of those in the future. The Vector I will definitely be building in the future, so I'll keep you guys posted on that from AIO3. I haven't really looked at it or anything, so I just checked it out at the meetups and that was it. But I'll keep you guys posted on that one. Oh, Olivia, you guys know Olivia, you know, from GMK Olivia, right? Like, Olivia, the designer of GMK Olivia and Olive and etc. She brought a prototype for a board called the Kirby that I mentioned earlier, but basically it's like an HKB layout board with a very, like, it's not like Alice where it's like split two sides. It's all connected, like it's still like a HKB layout, but it has like this slight curve towards the middle. So it's like curvy, like, you know, but it's spelled KIRVY, and it has these like engraved sides, like brass sides, and this brass frame around the layout itself. I can imagine that keyboard being machined being super expensive, so I can expect that keyboard to be on the expensive side. But when I saw it, I was like, man, this is so Olivia. This is so Olivia. I was like, it's expensive, it has a lot of brass, and basically it's like rose gold kind of in tone and whatnot. I was like, man, this is so Olivia. And it's HKB layout. It's just any HKB layout. It's actually OG HKB. So like, it has the longer blocker on the right side and the shorter blocker on the left side, like the corners. But then the spacebar, instead of doing like a 6U, you can just split this. You can do spacebars. So the idea is to use split spacebar on that. That was pretty cool board. Definitely one of the more unique boards, and it used like a leaf spring kind of mechanism for the plate, so it had a decent bit of flexibility to the typing. So that was pretty nice. Is there going to be a panel at the National Meetup? If so, then who? I don't know about the National Meetup details. I'm going there as an attendee, and so I did not look into it. The bag would have been cool on a longer, less square layout IMO. I've only been to an NJ meetup, only been like 60 people, 1 Alice, 1 Space Invaders, 1 Bucking Spring, no Topers, so still a win. Let's see. Right. Yo, how's Bay Totaku? Hello. How's Bay Otaku? Hello, hello. What are you bringing to Nashville meetup? I'm not sure yet. Quappa. Why are mods mopping buckets instead of swords now? Oh, because they're now janitor mods. Alright. When I grow up, I want to be Olivia. I think Olivia's like in a whole different layer of the stratosphere. So I believe ascending in society to be like Olivia is a very difficult task. Any meetup vlog? I do not do any videography or film, so I don't have a vlog, but there were a lot of people taking photographs. So if you go to the CanKeys Discord, there's a meetup 2022 chat where a lot of people posted photos. I saw a guy with a Hasselblad, which was pretty cool. Got to try it. Such a nice sound to it when you like press down on the shutter and you hear that kind of sound, like it's like a it was super cool. I actually forgot to bring my Instax, like my my Polaroid camera, which I normally take to meetups. I forgot about it. So I unfortunately did not take many pictures. I actually barely took pictures this time around. Just kind of spent more of the time just socializing and whatnot. Chunk? Yeah. The Hasselblad had such a nice sound to it. I was like, wow, that's such a cool camera. But also, I can imagine it's super expensive, especially with the film. But yeah, got to see one for the first time in real life. That was kind of cool. Okay, I think I'm caught up with chat, so you can always feel free to tag me now for questions. Sorry if I missed anything. If I did miss something that you asked and I didn't answer it, fret not. It's not because I don't want to answer it. It's because I probably just have been trying to keep up with the chat. So just ask away again. Age-wise, I might be older than Olivia, but she's definitely on another level. That's why I said when I grew up. Yeah, no. Olivia's great though. She's super nice. She's super sweet. She's super nice.
Scopray.
Oh, hello, Forbidden 404. 6 months. Thank you so much for the 6 months. Thank you for your tier 1 sub. She doesn't like yakitori though. I guess not. Also, Steve keeps hydrate. Alright, sure. Sounds good. This flux I'm using smells like burnt marshmallow. That's called lead, buddy. Lead smells and tastes sweet. If you didn't know. I love the smell of solder fumes in the early morning. That's why 90s toys were so fun to chew on. Yeah, and that's why lead poisoning is actually a risk for children when you move into a house that has lead containing paint. That's why always lead poisoning tests are first for children and then for adults, and that's because it's the children who will be chipping away at the paint in the walls because it, or like, you know, children, like, you know, infants or babies especially, and like, you know, consuming it, and it's because it's sweet. Hi Diego, I love that PCB. Indeed. Well, the PCBs are very nice. The red is very vibrant. Oopsie. I'm using a syringe of tack flux on unleaded solder, but what does the... Let's see. I'm curious now. Does... Why does flux smell sweet? Why does flux smell sweet? That means the resin core, right? It's the, yeah, oh, I see. It's the resin that you're smelling. Rosin core, my bad. Okay. Burning pine indicates rosin, but a modified rosin could easily smell like plastic. Blah, blah, blah. Acidic flux smells like vinegar. Sweet-eating insects can be attracted to the area. Oh, interesting. Huh. Interesting. It's tree sap, basically, yeah. Rosin. The lead doesn't vaporize at that temperature? Yeah. I see.
You cute. Ka.
Jordan, hello. 18 months, thank you. That voice, GLaDOS paused there? Yeah, GLaDOS paused there. GLaDOS didn't know what to say after You Cute because it was too much for GLaDOS to handle. Most of the fumes are rosin particulates, I believe. That makes sense. Let it sink in. The rosin core solder I usually use smells kind of like ass, but this syringe of tack flux smells quite nice. Yummy. I actually don't remember what the one I have smells like. Back to D&D, just wanted to say hi. Yo, D&D sounds fun. Do you play campaigns often and stuff? Anyway, sounds good, buddy. Don't want to interrupt your session. Have fun RPGing on a tabletop. Whether it's tabletop, same or otherwise. This is my first 27th session. Oh, wow. Fun times. D&D is fun. D&D is quite a lot of fun. It's definitely takes a good dungeon master to get it together, but once you get the rules and once you get into it, the D&D groups can be really fun. Wish I had a more animated group. DM is good. Oh, okay, yeah. Animated groups are fun because they're very they can be pretty passionate. I mean, I think if somebody starts, people kind of follow along too, though. So maybe you can be that guy who gets really into it and really does the role-playing part properly. DMing seems like so much work. It does seem like a lot of work, but I think I've heard from people who do DM that there's like little tricks to make not quite that difficult. And the rest is kind of like your imagination sort of taking over, but it requires a little bit of I guess deeper understanding of how the game works. I started DMing 2 weeks ago. Wow. I mean, it is a lot of prep though, DMing, but I think it really depends on Sometimes the groups just kind of carry themselves. Yeah, and there are indeed guides for campaigns, so they're like shorter ones, and like they're shorter campaigns you can just DM through, and they're pretty simple, and they give you like very like prescribed scenarios and character designs and whatnot. I watched a video of a guy who does D&D for many years. His whole basement is all about D&D. I'm not surprised. D&D is there's a big culture around D&D, and don't forget, I mean, D&D is basically the OG, like, you know, RPG game. So it really defined what we know as RPG, even in like video games. A very unrelated question: have you ever lubed Toper Springs? I personally don't lube Toper Springs iBurly, because I just decide to just align them on the PCB on below the domes. But I know that I've heard that people do lube the Toper Springs, though I personally don't recommend it. Two reasons why I personally feel like it's not a good recommendation to be lubing Toper Springs is because of the electric capacitor mechanism. I feel like, I mean, I don't know. It feels like lubricating the springs when even in the factory standard they don't. I don't see why one should. And I wonder if it could possibly mess with the electric capacitive readings, which is a very sensitive thing, actually. Krytox is non-conductive? Yeah, but it's more so about also the stickiness of the things adhering to things, you know what I mean? Because you're causing things to just kind of stay in place here and there. It makes me feel like messing around with the movement of the things down there is just like, I imagine tub or bag lubing would be a nightmare. Yeah, also separating those springs is horrible. I mean, have you ever lost one of those springs, iBurly? Like the Toper springs are so light and they basically, like, you just blow on it, like, and they just fly away so quickly. Like, it's so easily, rather. They're super light, and I would be scared to lose them too in that process. You'll be churning butter under the dome sounding wet? Yeah, I mean, there's that risk too, yes. Is that at the benefit of potentially getting rid of any of that crunch, the dry crunch that you have from the springs being lubed or there being oil or grease under the domes, you also risk having the wet sound. Just like in lubing MX switches, you can have the same. Right? Think we see Real Force R3 sold in the West this year or next? I mean, I did see somebody with a Real Force R3. Oh, yes! Yes! Actually, that was something that I thought was interesting. Seeing the Real Force R3 at the CanKeys meetup. I saw it, and it looked pretty interesting. It is Bluetooth compatible now. The feeling of the domes was okay. Pretty standard, I would say. Definitely a bit more dampened kind of feeling. Look-wise, it was different. The font on the keycaps is a little bit different from the previous rounds now. There's a bit of a kind of a sheen kind of to the texture, to the top of the caps. And yeah, they're Bluetooth compatible, kind of more modern looking. So you know, I think it will depend on whether you like it or not, look-wise, aesthetic-wise, but at least feel-wise, it was kind of similar to the R2. Was it the super white? No, it was the black one. It was the black one with the gray on gray keycaps. I should have gone a syringe of tack flux ages ago. Desoldering a pre-build has never been easier. Oh yeah, flux is so essential for desoldering, or at least having something that will help you with that is so helpful. I keep two different kinds of flux. So I have like the ones that come in the small tubes. I also have flux that comes in a pen. I have a flux pen. I also have flux in a bottle. So I also have this soldering flux from Kester. I also have, yeah, I have different kinds of flux as well. But will we see the R3 real force in the West in the next year? Probably yes. I would say next year, yes. Next 6 months, maybe not. I do think that Topre... Okay, so now I get the distinction. So PFU Fujitsu, that merger, is the one that does HHKB. And then Topre Real Force is kind of like the umbrella. Topre Real Force basically licensed out, I mean, designed along with PFU as a collaboration, the HHKB, but they are basically the ones who license out the Topre like mechanism, right? So they're the ones kind of getting all the royalties from HKB sales as well, and Real Force is that their flagship keyboard, right? And I just generally speaking, any Topre related developments seem to be generally slow in Japan, which I assume will carry over to the United States or to the Western market. So I don't think we will see developments in Topre that quickly. Like it might take, yeah, like half a year at least or longer. So maybe in the next year we'll see R3 being exported out to the West. I hope we can convince them to do another ISO run sometime. Yeah, I mean, so Topre operates separately, for example, from PFU. So if you see any HHKB developments, the decision makers of the HHKB stuff is all under PFU Fujitsu, whereas the Real Force is all under the Topre Corporation. So if you wanted something under Topre Real Force, it's a different. This is basically the parent company doing that. I mean, not quite parent because they're not like subsidiaries, but you know. So it is kind of split management-wise, it seems. Or at least my conversation with the HKB guys when I went to NorCal was basically that they just do HKB only. No Leopold, no Real Force, just HKB. Wait, since when do you have that blue skull? I've had this one for a while. This is Topre, which you probably don't like anyway because it's Topre. You're lucky. I wish I had an MX. I want a Topre refrigerated truck. Yes, they are experts on refrigeration. There's a stock market for Topre in Japan. What's the deal with adapter kits for MX slider? Is that about making them MX cab compatible? Yes. So adapters, so Topre to MX adapters or MX sliders, what people call, is indeed a way to use MX keycaps on Topre compatible keyboards, or Topre Dome having keyboards. Is to use MX compatible keycaps, but for example, you have to mess around with the stabilizers if you want to convert that to MX as well. I may have found a way to counter this guy's scamming claims on me. Ooh, okay. Is this a black on black Keycult? Yes. Topre for me until OSA V2. Can't believe I sold my Nova Touch for only 200 CAD. I mean, was this back when it was still in production though? Was this already out of print back then? I mean, because they went out of print like in 2016, 2017. 2016, late 2016, to be specific. Yeah, if it was like early in 2016, it was not yet out of print. Like the Cooler Master was still actually active. But there were still quite a lot of... Actually, 200 CAD in 2016 is fine. In my opinion. I think that was the actual market price back then. What IEM are you using? Using a Moondrop Variations. You know, Icono said, I sold a keyboard to a guy and sent both packages on the same day and the keyboard just arrived, so I could tell the mods that. Oh, I see, and they're claiming that the other one didn't arrive. Oh, that's so weird. If you send two separate packages, there's two separate trackings for them and basically two separate arrivals for them. Just because you send two packages under the same mail service doesn't mean that they'll arrive at the same time. They are processed separately depending on the size and depending on other things. Are they currently selling some boards that have MX compatible stems? Yes, there is indeed MX compatible stems. The Real Force RGB has MX compatible stems indeed. Yep. Although people rate it quite low on the scale because apparently they are not very I don't know, well sounding, I suppose. At least the ones on the RGB. But hindsight, I guess so. Funny they don't mention on their page. Oh really? Maybe it's just because maybe it's like it's too tainted. It's MXified. Okay. What about if I just dipped a toothpick in 105 and tapped to the middle of each circle on the PCB? Still risky? I don't think you'll have issues, Broly. I think, like, I honestly think it's okay to do it, but it is like kind of like do at your own risk. I know of people who have done it who haven't had issues, but if you ever have to bring yourself to ever clean it up, just know that by the time you get there, it might be all spread out everywhere and you have to, you know, be more meticulous. That said, you know, I just don't do it because the reason I don't do it is, first of all, because I always try not to separate the domes from the PCB. That's the number one thing for me when I get any board incorporated, is that I want to try not to separate the domes from the PCB. If I do happen to separate them though, I will do my best to align the springs, and that's like pretty much my approach. But I have heard of people doing the whole lubing the PCB or lubing the springs or whatever, and have okay functioning boards. But I've also heard on the other side of that people who have gotten Toper boards that have had those modifications done to them, and them having like sticky sounding keys. What's your lubing preference on TX tabs? Just a light coat of 2.5 grade 0 is more than enough. Remember my pin in your Discord? Oh yeah, that's right. You did ask about that. Funzy. That was actually what I wanted to do as well, but somebody said it's incredibly hard to line the domes up without doing the upside down plate thing where you put the domes inside them and put the PCB on top. Yeah, if you happen to separate the domes from the PCB along with the springs, then you do have to do the upside down thing. It is the best way to ensure that the PCB and the domes are lined up. Yeah. Otherwise, you just have to be very careful with your hands, so you have to have very steady hands for it. Yeah. But yeah, I guess Funzy is correct in that my server does have... Let me see. There was... There was right here. You can join my Discord server if you want, but if you click on this link later on after you join and verify, you can also you can see what Funzy is referring to. It's basically him saying like, hey, can you identify the sound? And he later realized that it was because there was like a modification done to it. Diego's server is crazy, so much commotion now. It's not even my fault, I didn't even do anything. it's all these people being so active. Do you read every message? Not always. I try, but I can't always catch every single thing, no. I sometimes miss DMs too, to be fair. So I think that's the thing. Sometimes, you know, like, I don't know, does it not happen to you guys when you sometimes get a DM and you read it like late at night, or like you accidentally tapped on it and then it basically gets marked as read, and then you kind of gets buried? It happens to me all the time. So I sometimes have to like go and remember to like mark things as unread. It sucks because if you're on your phone especially, finger slips, you tap on the DM, it gets marked as read immediately. It sucks. Yeah. Read on my phone, forget to check back on my PC. Yep. All the work Diego did to lube my spacebar just for me to put PBT on it. Tick, tick, tick. Oh no. It's okay. You can mark it as unread. I mean, I do that all the time too. I always mark things as unread when I can, when I remember and whatnot. Also, wait, Sifo, didn't I actually build your board and put PBT on it anyway? But I guess every PBT set has its own little quirks, so unfortunately if I didn't have the set that you're using exactly, it's kind of pointless.
Holla from in the living room.
Oh, GZ, 18 months. Hello, my friend. Hola, how are you? I've seen that you've been on your outings lately. How are you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Enjoying the outdoors. And now the living room, I suppose. I didn't want to heat the spacebar because 5-sided dice up. Damn. That TTS is so scary. You don't like GLaDOS? This is GLaDOS from Portal. If GLaDOS was talking to me, I would be scared AF. Okay, that's kind of true because she's not a very good person, or well, not a person at all. But yeah, I agree. Yeah, you can change the TTS voice though, but you need to know the syntax for it. All is well, been on rectangle lurker status? That's fine. That seems like a good time. Sometimes you just don't need to care about rectangles and care more about I don't know, like, I don't know, nature probably. Yeah, what's up, Darian? Hello. Diego, I need help? With what? Do you do the cable on your green OG 2.0? No, I didn't. Like, it was like a... It was somebody who had made like a silicone, like a hot silicone, and like a mold basically for the cable connector, around the part where it like exits, right? The exit port. So they had like basically molded that with silicone. So it was just like an insertable part where you just all you had to do was just place it, pull it, and it was like there at the connector at the exit port. That was it. So I didn't do it myself though. I honestly hold so much contempt for Keycult for realizing my order for 2 years, 3 months straight. Is this for like a commission? It is true that the commissions did go pretty pretty long, and there definitely was lack of common, you know, it's been discussed, but yeah, here and there definitely have had issues. Not to mention the actual issues, plus on top of any communication issues there were there too. So unfortunate, but it happens. I also need help, Diego. I'm cooking a steak but got stuck trying to pick it up off the stove. Please unstuck. My booper came in. Yo. I want to redo an OG 2.0 and 2.2 cable, but I don't even know where to start because both cables have limos that I don't have the host end for. Oh. That sucks. Do you have a multimeter? I mean, that's pretty much your other way to do it, is just to have a multimeter and read the voltages. If you don't though, you're kind of screwed. You won't know which one's which. So yeah. Hi Diego, I burned my toast in the fridge. What? You mean like freezer burn? You can get a continuity tester with a light bulb and a 9-volt battery. That is true, but continuity testing doesn't do anything for testing pins. Specifically testing which pin is who. Identifying pins, continuity testing won't do really much. Yeah. He's trying to figure out which pin is which, basically. I mean, for a USB, you only have 4 pins. It's VCC, ground, and then D plus D minus, which is pretty simple, but still. I'm pretty sure there has to be some solution out there though that allows you to just do it by ruling, like method of elimination or something like that. Made chicken karaage for the first time today. Man, never knew it was this easy. Oh yeah? Do you have a recipe for it? I mean, I know it's not too hard, but I have to say, I know it's not hard, but the only problem is, for me, is what I don't like about fried chicken specifically is about making that at home is the cleanup of the oil and all that stuff. But I know it's not that difficult. Are all Keycult solder or is there hot swap? There are hot swap options, yes. I'm always intimidated with deep frying at home. Yeah, I'm intimidated just by the cleanup part, really. And also, yeah, I mean, potentially burning myself, but I know that I could probably be careful enough to avoid that. But there are hot swap PCBs for Keycults, yes. I hate how it stinks up your apartment whenever you fry anything. That too. 1 in 25 chance if you just go for it. The community takes bigger gambles for artisans. Also facts. I use Morimoto's recipe. Oh. Air fryer, friends? That's true. Air frying is the way to do it if you really want to do it. I mean, I've seen people use convection ovens for frying stuff. I mean, for basic roasting and kind of frying stuff. So, like cooking stuff. Like just baked, essentially. But, I mean, it can taste very good if you know how to do it. Like, you just do a lot of cooking spray and stuff. It's doable. I burned myself so much making tea, I've lost all fear of not anything related to cooking except pressure cookers. I guess so. Try food naked. Jeez. But yeah, sorry, Darian, I can't help you with the connector specifically. I mean, you'll need a multimeter if you want to identify the cables, or you'll just have to, I don't know, get lucky, I guess. Pretty much, just gamble, get lucky. Pressure ready fryer. My god. My god. Multimeter is cheap and worth owning for anyone. That is true. I mean, multimeters are useful for even just your home electricity related stuff. I mean, it's a very useful tool to have. I mean, for small electronics, it's even cheaper. The electrician ones are actually expensive, but the cheaper multimeters are dirt cheap. Like, or I mean, relatively pretty cheap as tools, and they're useful tools to just have around. Are they cheap? Yeah, they can be, yeah. There's cheaper versions of multimeters. There's also specific brands that are more expensive than others. For example, like if you get like Fluke multimeters, like they can be more expensive because they're known to be kind of like more like the gold standard of multimeters, right? There are cheaper ones. Realistically though, you just put whatever you're deep-frying in properly, there's zero chance of you burning yourself, also removing moisture from surface that's hitting oil. Yeah, true. I wish Diego... Jeez. Avo is down bad. Pressure cookers are not scary. Pressure cookers are fine as long as they're built okay with safety features. But when I hear people trying to do improper resin casting for artisans with bad pressure pots, it makes me scared for their lives. How's the meetup, Diego? It was pretty good, Extra Prius. It was really nice. It was a smaller meetup compared to NorCal one, but I got to meet a lot of people that I hadn't seen before that I had known in the community, and also some newer people who introduced themselves, and I was like, oh yeah, I totally know you. Like, I've seen you more recently, but I've definitely seen you around. It was nice to see some folks like that, and then also got to check out boards and just like, you know, walk around and stuff. And Providence was pretty nice. I mean, it was hot the first couple of days, but before I came back, we toured around a little bit, and it was pretty nice. Really lovely little city. I was there for a little bit, couldn't find you. Really? Couldn't find me? I was there the whole time. I mean, with the exception of, what's that? With the exception of basically right after the panels, like at 1 PM that they ended, right? We went to grab lunch. So with the exception of the lunch time that I took between like 1 and like 2, or like 1 and like 1:45 or something like that, I was there the whole time until like the end of the meetup. So I'm actually surprised you couldn't find me. I was maybe just walking around, so maybe you didn't see me. Everyone had masks? Okay, that is true. That is true. It is harder to find people with masks on, but that's it. It is also, I don't know. I wouldn't go in without a mask, so there's that. Once I have a silent key call, I'll come to a meet. See any boards or upcoming things you're excited for? I mean, I did not get the Lunar 2, but honestly, the board is really cool. There was the ALT Vector, which was also pretty cool, very thick and very heavy board. There was a new Smith & Rune board there as well. Let's see, newer boards. I mean, Heine had his boards too. Like, I mean, he had the Ladybird that I built that time, and he also brought some of his other boards, like the Ibis and the Poly TKL 1. Heine boards are pretty solid overall. Bistromi had the Wrist Breaker prototype as well. He had the Starman, which he ran like in a small batch, I think. Really interesting, really funny board because it basically has this humongous knob to adjust the angle, basically, with like a humongous screw, like an M10 size screw. And yeah, that was pretty funny board, but looked pretty cool. Also Olivia brought a prototype of her curvy, like a HHKB layout, 60% with a curve, split spacebar as well. So if you're into that like split spacebar life, that's pretty much the perfect board for you. And not to mention HKB, I think GZ Prime U would probably like it, although it's pretty the aesthetics of it can be like to like personal preference, I guess. The KC Red Copper was fire. Oh yeah. Also saw one of the unicorns with the JNV2C style, like multicolor weight. That was pretty nice. Honestly, I was like, oh man, I really want one of those because it looks super cool. But no, I mean, it was really nice to see like really premium boards or like commission boards as well. There was a guy who had this, I mean, there was the Boston as well, like had this like engraving of like a Boston map. Like a map of Boston, Massachusetts. And then there also was like a board with like, what was that? Like a meme kind of weight. It was like I forget what it was called. Shrek? Yeah, I think it was Shrek, right? Was there one with Hank too? I don't remember. There were a bunch of kind of more funny boards as well as vintage. SA caps on the wrist breaker, yeah. Starman so lit. Didn't know Olivia was there. Yeah, she came in on the second half of the meetup, I guess. Like she came in maybe like around like 2 or 3 p.m. in the afternoon, like 3 p.m. maybe in the afternoon, and I mean, but she was there for like a good few hours. I think she was mostly at the corner near where Smith and Rune were, like that tabling area, where the vendors and some other designers were. Like Tiny Bush was there too. Surprised I was the only one with 7B there. Maybe just people didn't bring it, or like you know, thought that more people would bring it. So that happens a lot actually at meetups. It's like when you think someone else will bring something a lot because it's a pretty like maybe there are like a lot of units and stuff, but you just happen to be one of the few people in the area who has one, or like who decided to bring one coincidentally. I was impressed with the Cake 60, so light. Yeah, I mean, it's made out of plexiglass. Do you know that? It's made out of acrylic, and the bottom itself is also carved out, like it's also machined out. So basically, it's just like a singular plane of plexiglass for that part, and then the sides, right? Pretty cool though. It's a nice board. Yeah. If you look at the photos, you'll see. Like if you look at people's photos of the Cake 60, It's pretty obvious how like light it is. Let's see here. Let's test this out. Okay, Lobotech WT65 and key tester. Just ask them what they'll bring or what they want to see. I guess that's true. I mean, if you have like friends who are also going to the same meetups. Whoops. Bring the OTD. I don't know if I'm gonna bring any boards actually to Nashville. I actually was like, bringing boards is nice, but I kind of just wanted to come with like a lighter bag. To be honest, my bags are pretty heavy with boards, so I'm going to see if I might lighten the load on that. Yo, Kuri, hello. What's up? Just thank you so much for the build service and sponsor commands. But yes, my friends, don't forget to check out the different sponsors for the channel. I'm not gonna go through all the different news, but I'll just go through the news from today though. CanKeys has Icky 68 extras available now. They also had a Brutal V2 65% live for a limited pre-order. They have 4 different colors, and they have a hotspot PCB kitted with it. They also recently released and also gave away a few malicious Ergo keyboards. That's like the Arisu layout, like the 65% style layout. That's like Alice, when the same aesthetic as the Brutalist keyboard series, which is kind of cool. I actually saw that in person at the meetup, and it looked pretty nice. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the most recent news. I mean, last time we already talked about the Candy Shop PVT set at Kinetic Labs. I showed off the MW Retrolight set over here, the beige set earlier from Space Cables. It's like a beige set with some accents that's available for orders on the Space Cables website. The Cypher, I think, is currently in group buy. Cypher R4 is currently on group buy. I'm not sure if it's sold out yet. Promise 87, I believe, sold out already. Especially for the bespoke edition or whatever. And then I guess that's about it. DMK Minty Fresh group buy is currently live, and then there's a bunch of pre-orders available for like group buys that already passed, but that you can pre-order now for a small discount, like on Space Cables. Yeah. I brought 4 keyboards. It was too much trouble. Yeah, I think if you're especially flying, like, it's a lot. Like, I brought 2 keyboards, and they both had weights and, like, you know, cases. And even then, my bag felt pretty heavy. So I'll probably bring, like, 1 keyboard and then some artisans or something like that to the Nashville meetup. Plate looks so sick with matching black switches and also the matching black stabs too. The stabs are also fully black on this. Sorry, CanKeys, I think malicious is bad naming. I mean, you know. $420 stupid loud 420 asks, are you gonna go for Kaze? I may be, yeah. Yeah, I should probably get like a Kaze to build, so once I check it out. Even 2 driving feels like a ton. I mean, at least driving it, you just load it up on your car and you just go. But like carrying around a bag with keyboards is just, super heavy. I brought 3 to a venue like 25 minutes away and now it's dying. Well, yeah, this is what I'm telling you. Like, if you have to carry it through like public transit or anything like that, it's pain. It's pain. Mode themes, kind of cool idea. I saw that email. I saw an email about the mode themes thing. Something about like doing like thematic sales, I guess, like keyboard plus desk pad plus art or something for your room. That seemed neat. All black is timeless. I mean, yeah, Murdered Out look is always nice. Do you take the Amtrak? Yes, I did, Jack. I took the Amtrak to Providence, the one that goes from like Washington to Boston. But I mean, I took it from New York though, so it was like 3 hours and like 10 minutes or so. We did have some delays going in and coming back out of Providence, so it was more like a 4-hour trip. Plus like whatever public transit I had to take, so maybe like 4.5 hours or so for the travel. Amtrak without delays isn't Amtrak. Unfortunate state of the country with the train system, though. Yeah, it's just kind of how this railroad system goes here. I mean, it's not developed well. It's just how it is. Where are you from? West Coast? No, I'm in New York City. I'm in New York City. I can carry 10 HKBs under one arm. I mean, HKBs are super light. Just load in your car and just go. Diego, someone who doesn't own a car anymore. But I mean, it's true though. Just put in your, put it in a big, like, carry-on bag or something. Load it up in the trunk and you just go. I mean, driving is a bit different from like having to take a plane or like public transit, sure. But at least you're not carrying that like stuff like over like staircases and shit. That's different. I've never taken a long train ride. I think that sounds kind of fun. It is kind of fun, to be honest. I actually prefer riding the train or like the bus or like just sitting in a car. Like let's say if I'm not driving. I mean, versus driving is different though. Like if you are the one who's driving, that's a bit different. And then like plane, of course, is different because you have to go to like security and that kind of stuff. And like also airports are normally pretty further away from like cities or towns, so yeah. All right, so what we first need to do here, okay, just gonna put this down for a sec, is we gotta put on the daughter board. We're gonna do that first. I'm too scared to put my 7V anywhere but on my desk. Even my desk has almost died drowning in ramen, bruh. What? Ramen? Oh my gosh. Alright, let's see. That's why you're in New York City, MK? Yeah. Real talk, are you gonna come to eventual Space Cables meetup? I mean, whenever Space Cables organizes a Space Cables meetup, I'll try to come by if I can, yeah. I haven't been down to Texas in a long time. I haven't been to Texas since I was like a young kid, basically. So the buzz, big yikes. Yeah, I mean buses are pretty uncomfortable. How do we find out meetups? I always see them social media after they happen, but they never anything before. Really? I think if you are in any of the bigger community servers, people tend to talk about them a lot. But if you're not, for example, the CanKeys or the Novel Keys one, for example, people posted about them on r/mechanical keyboards. So people do talk about meetups like on Reddit or Discord, but it does kind of take some paying attention. Like that is always the case. If you are in a specific area, for example, like if you wanted to know about the Chicago meetup, then you want to join the Chicago regional server for Discord, for example, and people will drop announcements about meetups happening in the area. So I highly suggest joining in like local servers where that pertain to your particular area. So that's the first step you should probably take. But yes, it does take a little bit of looking. Mini meets tend to happen in this course, especially Texas. Yeah, so some of the bigger areas like NorCal, like Pacific Northwest, SoCal, Texas, New York sometimes, or like the New York area, you know, like New York, New Jersey area. People tend to talk about like meeting up. And so being participatory in some of the socializing is sometimes what it takes to kind of meet up with people. But the bigger meetups organized, for example, with sponsors and vendors, the vendors will announce them. For example, the CanKeys one or the Novelkeys one, those will, like, they sent out. They actually sent out emails and put it on social media and stuff. So like that, those ones you probably just miss maybe because of timing. Yeah, probably just timing. Worst long distance travel experience I had was taking a red-eye Greyhound from Penn Station to Toronto. Oh my god. Okay, long bus rides, absolutely the worst. For sure. No doubt. No doubt the worst. I do not like long bus rides. It's just really uncomfortable sitting on the bus. But I mean, train and plane's a lot easier. Yeah. My bus ride home from school is 45 minutes. Yeah. Oh, that reminds me of when I was in school too. When I used to commute by bus as well. It was something like 45 minutes as well. Like an hour actually. Yeah. Sometimes it was like when we had traffic, it was even worse. So yeah, it could be a pretty long ride out. We had some guy get arrested on the way back. Oh my god. Monka. Had to love being picked up first and dropped off last. Oh, dude. If you're on the route and like it's your, yeah, if you're the first to get picked up in the mornings and last for the school bus. Yeah, I was that kid in the, when I was in, I think high school was when I did a lot of my bus commuting. So yeah, that was it was annoying. Waking up super early in the morning and then getting back home pretty late after school. Get berating some lady with a baby in the middle of the night until they call cops and stop him for him to get, okay, well, yeah, that makes sense why he got arrested. But yikes, also being that person, you know. It's like, why though? The other day I was riding the subway and there was this man like yelling at some lady. Same thing though, like kind of like talking to the, like she was like mad about, you know, she's like, why are you even talking to my kid? You know, like, you don't address my kid. I mean, it's true though. It's like, what the hell is your, like, who do you think you are to be addressing somebody else's kid? Just New York things? Yep. There's always those crazy people around, you know? Indeed. Indeed. Yeah, you don't know what kind of day they had? They could have taken another L in the latest arsenal. Okay. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. They could have had a big L in the latest artisan auction. Or the latest keyboard auction, who knows? Maybe they lost that victory. Okay. Maybe they thought. Hey, I just bought CC2 and 46 CC2 and 46 artisans for 300. Oh, you bought that big deal that somebody posted on like the mech market or whatever. I saw that. I was like, wow, that's a big bundle for pretty cheap. The key itself is like half that price. Because they really wanted to move it, which makes sense. I mean, sometimes you just have to do it. If it's too good to pass, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Now I know where you're from, same as me. Oh, I see. I guess a lot of good number of New Yorkers in the chat, huh? Oh god, that would be heartbreak. You mean losing the victory? I mean, if you're bidding, you kind of know what you're getting into, I guess. Alright, so Peaches, I guess, decides what key set we're putting on this. Are we doing Shanshui? Are we doing JTK Christian? What are we doing today? I mean, whatever. Peaches decides, because one drunk man redeemed the choose a key set thing, and he had to leave, and he bequeathed the right to choose to Miss Peaches. Oh, not New York, well, Connecticut originally. Oh, is that right? Peaches is bored? No. Oh, I see. I lived in Connecticut for a little while, but mostly just for school. Then I moved. Chicago now? I see. Oh, very cool. Good to know. How's Chicago? I mean, only thing I can't imagine myself in Chicago is the weather, in the winter especially. I mean, I don't think I could survive those polar vortexes and cold snaps, and the very cold and dry wind of the winter from the lakes. Shanshui is nice. Should have comped the meetup. Oh, they were selling it there too? I actually didn't see about all the sets. I saw all the in-stock sets, but then I didn't check out all the lists, rather. Okay, Shanshui it is. Let me let me see where I put it here. Okay, I'll be right back. I think it's right here. Chicago is so cursed in the winter, I could never. Yeah, I feel that too, so I don't think I could. That one time I choose a WAP set, Poner is not happy. I mean, Christian is kind of a WAP set too, I guess, so it was like a 50-50 roll here. Anyway. Oh snap, which school in Connecticut? I went to Wesleyan, for those who know. Alright, so Peaches, I need you to tell me if you want me to put Mono Legend Kanji Alphas, I think, or just the traditional, old traditional dual legend ones for the alphas. See. I need to look at this kitting because I can't read all the characters. And I'm not gonna pretend like I know. Normal base kit with subs, novelties, no accent. Okay. Is that your normal order here? Just the usual. El clásico. Was eyeing a 21 KB since I saw they dropped price a little. What is your opinion on those keycaps? Overall, I think they have pretty decent dye sublimation on the caps. I think one thing that a lot of people will agree on is that their like spacebar, for example, sounds a little kind of plasticky or kind of loud, which I felt was the case for the that. But I mean the overall quality of the PVT caps is all right. The price is okay. Like you know they kind of do the job. You know, like there's people who enjoy it. But I do have to say that the spacebar thing was the only thing that bothered me. But other than that, I think it was okay. So yeah, they work well on certain builds, better than others. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Texture's nice, but sound is still PVTE. Yeah. Yeah. That's not the right. role profile. Oh, pretty nice. Some of these have tertiary legends too, so pretty busy. Hello streamer, hello Guapa, how are you? Novelties, no accent. Okay, novelties, no accent. We'll replace the novelties in just a second. I'm done with all these other ones. Where's the end keycap? Here it is. And page up. I guess I could replace all those with novelties, but we'll see. Alright, so that pretty much does it. Let's see. No accent, but novelties. Alright, so that's the enter one. Then let's see what we have for novelties. For the 1.5 use, we have some 1 use, 2 5s. I guess pretty much we will have to use the 1.5 U. See, there is a boat, there is a mountain, there's more mountains. Oh, wait a second. I like the mountain more than the bird, I think. Alright, sorry bird, goodbye. If so, we put the boat here are the alternate ones. Entry here on the sides of the space bar. I love boats. We can do full novelty in the nav column. Oh, is that right? But they're not the correct role profile peaches. Are they? Oh, they are. Are they? Are they not? Wait. R1. Is that R3? R3. R2. Oh! Oh, it does work. Aha! I see. I see. Okay, cool. I'll do that. A lot of novelties then. Maybe I should swap out this mountain one then. Not too much. Maybe I'll put the regular entry here instead. Okay. So I'll do this. I'll do regular enter here. That looks nice, sir. Nicer. Okay, I guess that's good. Now we can put an artisan on the escape, right? I like novelty kits like this when you can play with the layout. Wait, but then why did you not get the novelty kit? Why do you not get it then? You like it? Yes? I did not get novelties with Frost Witch. I mean, that's fine. If you don't like them, then you don't like them, you know? Okay. Sometimes you just don't like the novelties, and that's it. Alright, and I shall hydrate. Alright. Let's see what we put on this. I never do, though. That's fair. It's not cute? Oh, okay. I guess that's fair, too. Let's see. What shall we put on? Any suggestions? These are all very cool, though. We can do a Popsy Skull. We can do this little Mephisto, this alien. There's this Roadkill from Bogan. There's this kind of Batman looking one. Kirby? Which Kirby? Oh, you mean this one? I feel like it kind of stands out too much when it's already a pretty blacked out build. I think I'll go with the black Artisan instead. There's also this kind of black-ish Cthulhu. Looks pretty nice. Put the resin one on. We can also put this one. This Damnation, which looks pretty nice. But yeah, let's do this. Kind of stands out. Has a little teeny bit of color. Not crazy, but also just understated enough. Alright. Let's try typing on this.
Now, how about drums? An instrument everybody loves.
Wait, oh, this is too thick too. I'll just use the gray one. Where's the gray one? Alright, here it is. Gray cable it is. It's dark enough. Okay. Is that actually focused? Alright, there. Alright. There we have it. Let's try typing on this. Let's see, turn off the music over here. And let's check the sound here. Alright, there it is. I think we're good. Okay. Alright, so tonight we have a Keycult 165 with these are Gateron Oil Kings on an aluminum plate, just a full aluminum plate. As you know, the Keycult 165 is this gasket mounted board. And we have GMK Shanshui with some novelties, and this face caps keycap on the escape. And yeah, these Gateron Oil Kings were lubed with just Krytox 205 grade 0. And that's pretty much all I got. Alright. Let's get this started. Let's try it out. See how it goes. Alright. Here you go. Ah! Too many typos. Let me try again. Ah, so many typos, but it's okay. I just wanted to finish it. It sounds nice. Yeah, it sounds pretty good, right? I think I actually also was a little worried that maybe it might sound a little muted. But when I was lubing these switches, I did do a pretty like lighter application because I know that the Oil Kings do come with a bit of a lubrication already. So I just lube it like right on top of the like whatever it already had, but I did a pretty light application of 205. So yeah. But yeah, let me do this 15-second one though. Let me just listen to it again really quick. Yeah, it sounds kind of clacky. It's actually not that quiet either, so it sounds pretty nice. I do think the aluminum plate is fine with these switches in particular. All right, here is the modifiers and the rest of the alphas. I'll just go through them. So there it is. Sounds like a slightly deeper MX Black. It definitely is not it doesn't have that characteristic cherry sound, that's for sure. It definitely is a bit, yeah, it definitely is a bit more muted, like a bit more dampened than the MX Black housing kind of sound, or like the cherry mix sound. There definitely is a bit of clackiness. Violent Anti asks, are Oil Kings quieter than Alpaca V2s? I would say that they're probably quieter stock. Yeah. But once you loop them both, probably similar. I believe they're both like nylon housings or whatever, so but I do think that lube Gateron switches tend to sound pretty quiet. But Oil Kings in particular, though, they do come with a decent bit of lubrication like stock. So I do think that they will be on the quieter side compared to Alpaca V2s, let's say, for that particular comparison. Wow, this sounds like a keyboard. I would hope it would. How do you lube these? Do you remove the factory lube before doing so? I did not remove any factory lube. I just opened them. I just grabbed my brush and I just lubed lightly with 205 on top of whatever was there already. So I did not bother removing the factory lube on the Oil Kings. I did lube all the springs though. I just put them into a tub with oil, like 105, or you can use like Krytox oil, or you can whatever oil you like using for your springs, whichever you use doesn't really matter, to be honest. And I just did that just to get rid of any kind of spring crunch. I also did spring swap, by the way. I did spring swap from the stock ones to 70 gram TX springs, which is what they wanted. So did that. What prelude switch sounds better in your opinion between the Oil Kings and Wu Chui Auroras? I've heard really good things about the Wu Chui switches, the Auroras. I know I was actually talking to Apiary about that, about pre-lubed switches that come in like already lubed from the factory, and she's a big fan of the Wu Chui switches. I recently also tried those Moon switches that are long pole linear switches from Agile Shop, the shop located in Toronto, Canada, and those also were pretty good. If you like long pole linears, I would go for those. I don't know about the Wu Chui Auroras. I'm not sure what kind of style of switch they are because I haven't tried them myself. But at least the people that I know who have tried those switches, they seem to like it a lot. So there's that. Yeah. Also, let me look at the rest of the chat here. Let's see. Also, Diego, any advice on what? How to fix a strip Torx head screw? How do you strip Torx? What do you do? Do you just use hex on Torx and you strip all the thing? Like the star shape thingy? Oh noes. Are these caps double shot? Yes, these are a double shot keycaps. This is GMK Shanshui, which comes in it's in Chinese, as you can see. Is the traditional old traditional set one from the two base kits. Stem only? Yeah, stem only for lubing normally for me. When I do 205, I usually only do stem only for lubing because any more 205 compared to like going from stem only gets pretty heavy on the grease, so I personally don't enjoy it, so I avoid it. Use a flathead, get a tight fit, and go slowly. Yes, that would be the recommendation. Yes. Need to find some small flatheads. Yeah, first time stripping a screw. Oh, I see. It must be like an M2 or like M2.5 maybe. Good luck, Pogert. That's you could try the rubber band trick, which is where you just use a rubber band on top of the screw, and then you use that as a way to create friction between the screwdriver and the head. So I was using hex before, and no, I used an actual Torx screwdriver and stripped it. Oh, it must have been pretty. It must have been the wrong size maybe. I stripped a screw in one of my most expensive board Sanch. It happens, okay? Stripping a screw is not about whether it's expensive or not. Sometimes the screw quality is also not great, but I mean, the more specifically is actually more so that you just use the wrong size or too much force, or they're just weaker. I mean, these screws sometimes just aren't that good. But definitely normally is a result of a lot of force or something like that, or like repeatedly, kind of like when, you know, when you have your screwdriver in the screw, when you accidentally like kind of like slip, that you may be stripping a little bit of that, and then like the more you do that, the worse it gets. So eventually it just gives in. It gets really smoothened out. What board? Oh, you mean for which one do you screw the do you strip the screw hole? I see. All right. So that's the build. Just to show what it looks like. Here is what it looks like up close. This is again GMK Shanshui from CanKeys, and it was also sold through other vendors, of course, regionally. This has a black aluminum plate. It's a Keycult 165. It's looking pretty good here. It has a black mid piece that's been, I think, either PVD treated or coated, but looks pretty nice. And then
Go die go go.
dude, Genshi, hello, how are you doing? Thank you so much for the tier 1 sub for 10 months, my friend. Go Diego, go. Thank you. Just in time to see the close-ups of the board here with my very fat fingerprints on the board. But this is the all black on black keyboard, Keycult 165 revision 1. As you can see, that's the bottom, reflected in some white light, reflected in some yellow foil over there because I have a reflector there. What material is the weight? I think it was steel. I think it was steel. I think it was coated steel. Yeah. Go Thai Coco. Yes. I know. Anyway, so that is the build. Looks very clean. Super nice. Split backspace this time instead of full backspace. I usually tend to build a lot of stuff with full backspace on 65s. Don't you have a black and black as well? I do, yeah. This is not my board, by the way. It's somebody else's board. So. You're gonna have to give me the click clacks here soon. Kuri sent me and I gotta hear it. Okay. We can do that really quick. Damn, I already missed the build. Hello, Secret Blue. You can hear it though. Here, let me give you a little listen. Quick listen to this. Here. is. Yeah, so that's what it is. It sounds so good. It looks great. Amazing build. You guys just murdered out look. You know, all black and white, black and black. So nice and clean look. But well, I guess thanks to Curry for recommending you to come around. Oh, I made a typo on the build command. Whoopsie. Don't usually like the number 1 at all, but the all black looks amazing. I personally really like the number 1 look. Personally, like I think it looks great. Especially on smaller layouts, I think it looks great. Personally, I really like the number 2 TKL in particular, but I think the number 1 looks great in the smaller layouts as well. I don't know, it looks good as a TKL as well though, but it's this floating look looks really nice. You obviously didn't get sick from the meetup, I hope. Wait, Alaskan winter, do you get sick? I don't feel sick. So I feel fine right now. I hope I don't test positive or anything like that in the near future. I mean, that would be my hope. But no, I feel fine. I do feel fine. I didn't, but I'm paranoid now. I mean, yeah. I mean, I would be paranoid. I'm definitely going to be testing over the next few days just to make sure that I'm not, you know, I'm not testing positive and infecting others or anything like that. 90% of people wear masks, but yes, but there are also times when people don't wear them and stuff, and it's not like you're always, you know, immune to it. But I mean, you know, being vaccinated also helps, of course. Yeah, I shoot weddings, so this was nothing. Okay, true. I do agree. Like, if you're going to like a public event like that, and like outdoors, I mean not outdoors, but like indoors for a long time, then you know, it makes sense. Alright. I think I'm gonna just call it a night here. But do appreciate y'all coming by. I don't know, let me see if I'm gonna be doing any other builds this week. I might do one more build this week, and then I'm gonna be out this weekend, so probably no streams over the weekend. But yeah, I definitely will have another build sometime later in the week, around the same time, probably like evening time on a weekday. And then I believe the next what's the next week? 22nd today. So in basically about like 10 days ish, 1 week, almost, yeah, like 10 days or so, on September 3rd we have this like small macro pack coming in from 0xc and FK caps. And yeah. Oh, Sleekoos, thank you so much for the 2-month sub. Gone on late, but always appreciate the streams. Alaskan winter, I appreciate you. Yeah, let's go see who to raid here. I'm gonna check here where's my Chrome page here with streams. I see that Anachronism is again doing some porting to Q&K. It's Firewire doing some keyword chores. Not many keyword people on today at this time right now. So I think we can always raid. It's Firewire. Yeah, I think so. I think they're the only keyword person. Oh, I see also Hammer Brother doing some Icky 68 R2 build. And then I see other makers and crafting folks doing like sketching and Gundam, Gunpla, and models and Legos and all that kind of cool stuff if you're interested. If not, we can always, you know, you can make any suggestions you want. Raid It's the Jong. Who is It's the Jong? Oh, they do Gundam assembly. Oh. You guys want to check out someone doing like Legos and model building? Why not? Let's go raid somebody. It's the Jang. Alrighty. Meow go raid. Lightning raid. Tell us about your favorite model build in the last month. Meowgo Poggers. Alright, friends. Again, appreciate y'all coming by. The next stream I'll probably be doing there's two things. I might be doing a Toper modding build. So next stream I do might be a little bit longer, but if that doesn't fit in my schedule, then I'll probably work with something else. So you'll probably see like an MX build by then. But yeah, you'll probably see me on again on a weekday evening. So I'll probably see you guys later this week. And yeah, if you want to see the ping drop, join my Discord or just follow on Twitch and have the app on with notifications, and you'll see the ping when I go live. Alright friends, anyway, I appreciate all the support. For those of you who showed up at the CanKeys meetup, it was great meeting you. And for those who I will see later, I'll catch you then. Take it easy, and see ya.